A wonderful evening once again, where tonight we honor the vital voices of remarkable women from around the world and those whom they represent. You've already met them, from a prosecutor who battled corruption and violence against women in Guatemala, who empowers other women to lift themselves out of poverty in Tanzania. The women you have honored tonight have faced hard choices in their own lives. There were certainly easier things. But they chose to devote themselves to helping others and righting wrongs. They stared down obstacles and smashed through every ceiling in the world that has been thrown in front of them. These are the kinds of stories we need to hear and repeat again and again. That's why we formed Vital Voices in the first place, so that these stories would be heard and then others would carry them forward like a great wave across the world. So I congratulate each of our honorees and I thank them for leading the way on the great unfinished business of the 21st century, advancing the rights, opportunities, and full participation of women and girls everywhere. Tonight, we have one more trailblazer to honor. Her story is a window into the best and worst of humanity, and it should be a call to action for all of us. As brutal conflict consumed her home, Syrian lawyer, human rights activist, and journalist Razan Zaitoneh was determined to bear witness. When the Assad regime detained and tortured peaceful protesters and political opponents, Razan rushed to represent them. When women and girls were targeted for abuse and mistreatment, Razan opened support centers that aided hundreds in need. When atrocities mounted and regime forces targeted civilians with extreme violence, Razan collected evidence for Syria's first human rights information bank and published lists of people detained or disappeared. When the country descended into civil war, she helped establish a network of activists to share information, expose abuses, and document the horrors plaguing the Syrian people. She used every tool and technology she could to get the word out. Grainy cell phone videos, Skype testimonials that captured the terror of life in a country being torn apart. Hunger, fear, snipers, shells, bombs from the sky, through it all, Razan never lost her voice or her nerve. But last December, she was abducted, disappeared, ripped from her work and her family. Her vital voice is silent now, even as her country continues to burn. So tonight, let us all speak for her. Let us raise our voices as one and demand the safe and immediate release of Razan Zaitoneh and all the political prisoners in Syria and this conflict as it continues. We will not forget her. We will not forget the work she did. We will not forget the abuses she exposed or the hope she cherished. The hope for a more peaceful and eventually democratic Syria. So let us recommit ourselves to making sure that her voice is heard through the voices of all of us and so many more, to stand up for the imprisoned and the oppressed, to empower women around the world who are agents of change, makers of peace, drivers of progress. That is what Vital Voices is all about. That is the mission you help to support by being here tonight. Now let's take a moment to hear a voice that even now refuses to be silenced.
I'm very happy that I'm inside my country in this historical moment, and that I will witness the moment of freedom when it comes.
Razan, talk about how the protests started in Dara in the last weeks. Why did they begin?
More than 15 kids between 12 to 15 years old got arrested because they wrote on the wall of their schools that the people want to end the regime. So, the security arrested those children and they disappeared. The protest there started from that point. And when those kids were released, it was more shock because they were tortured awfully. That made people more angry. The authorities started killing people. That's how it started from there.
My name is Razan Zaitoneh, human rights activist from Damascus. It's great to be able to help people in this terrible time and to keep hope alive. The war conditions allow you to see only the ugly and painful side of the picture. But there is amazing, bright side to be seen on the same picture. It's about the awesome people, women and men, who are working silently on the ground to achieve their dream of freedom and justice, improving daily that nothing, not even over 100,000 deaths, or harsh siege, or the betrayal of the international community can ever defeat the will of people who has a dream and faith in the future.
Razan, we've had a lot of trouble reaching you this morning. Please tell us what is happening right now, what you see in the streets.
The situation is getting actually more violent. The whole area of Trailblazer is surrounded and totally closed. It's not allowed to anybody to enter or get out of it.
Are you worried about your own safety?
Personally, I'm not afraid about myself anymore. That became a normal thing to us in Syria. Maybe to the extent that we deal with it until...
Razan, we seem to have lost Razan Zaitoneh.
Here tonight to accept the Global Trailblazer Award on Razan's behalf, please welcome her sister, Rana.
Zaitoneh. I'm a proud Syrian Canadian and a mother of 4. I'm here tonight in place of my sister Razan because a group of cowards took her. Not only from our family, but from all the Syrians we depend on and admire her bravery. Growing up, Razan and I had many things in common, the most prominent of which was dream to find freedom. The difference was, while I ran towards it, she sought to bring freedom to her people. These last years, I felt a mixture of guilt and pride. Guilt because I chose flight, but pride for my little sister, who stayed and chose to fight the oppression. She's a courageous, beautiful, admirable woman who speaks her mind but always puts others before herself. She never loses hope. I can see now how that hope continues to shine in her absence, how the fight for freedom continues each day, which is why I refuse to lose hope. I refuse to lose hope that we will see her again. If she were here tonight to accept this award, none of it would be about her. She would turn it around to lift up those she loves and defends. So that's what I'd like to do. To dedicate it in her name to all the martyrs, their families, and all who live under injustice every day. Thank you.